face. You just got to look into it. I can't remember what the missions were called before Apollo, but they were also pagan. It's all pagan. Okay. Sorry, I'm gonna go back to my notes here. Um, so curvature. Okay. What about the curvature of the Earth? Well, if the best way I can say this is there is no measurable curvature. Okay, you can drive across the state of Kentucky, you can drive across the province of Saskatchewan, and they're flat. Okay, and the Earth's curvature is supposed to be 8 inches per square mile. And you can figure that out using SOHCAHTOA, sine, cosine, and tangent, and Pythagorean theorem as well. Uh, all of those are going to give you 8 inches per mile squared, okay? So there should be a dip of 8 inches every mile. So the first mile, 8 inches, second mile, 16 inches, so on and so forth, okay? Using that mathematics that your scientists give you. And you can go out and you can try to measure curvature for yourself. And the best way I would do this is I would go to railway tracks, okay? If you look at the railways that were laid across Canada, across the United States that were built in the 1800s, first of all, the engineers did not incorporate the curvature of the Earth, okay? Second of all, Canada and the United States are huge countries. They're massive. We have a railway, the Canadian Pacific Railway, which ran from New Brunswick to British Columbia. Okay, that's over 3,000 miles. Go ahead, walk that railway if you want. Go ahead, it's still there. It still exists. Try to find curvature. Put a stick in the ground. Put a stake in the ground. 6 feet high. Walk 10 miles down the railway. Use the telescope or a P900 camera and zoom in on the stick that you put in the ground. Tell me if it is below the curvature. Tell me if it's visible anymore. Do the math. How far down should that be using 8 inches per square mile? Okay, you shouldn't be able to see it anymore after 10 miles, but trust me, it'll be there. Power lines. If you think of power lines that are all over, again, Canada. I'm using Canada and the United States because these are my countries, of course. We have power lines all over our countries, these two countries, and tell me where the curvature of power lines are. Use hydro poles. Hydro poles are spaced 50 meters apart. No matter where you go in the world, hydro poles are 50 meters apart. Easy math right there. Tell me if you see curvature. Of course, there's ravines, there's valleys, there's hills, there's knolls, that kind of stuff. But go to an area that's flat, like I said, Kentucky, Saskatchewan, and do these experiments for yourself. And if you look at what the scientists tell us, the theoretical physicists tell us, is that the Earth is not a perfect sphere. It is an oblate spheroid. It's, as Neil would say, it's pear-shaped, okay? And what he meant was it's a little chubbier at the bottom than at the top. And if you look at the pictures that NASA gives us, it's a perfect sphere. It's a ball, okay? You don't see any pear shape at all. NASA sends us these CGI photos that they admit are CGI. You can look that up too, okay? They're all composites. They're all cartoons is what they give us, And look into NASA. It was created by Werner von Braun, and Walt Disney was involved, which were both pagan occultists, okay? Werner von Braun, of course, created the Saturn V rocket that's supposed to get us to the moon, and if you look on his tombstone, you go ahead and look it up. There's Psalm 19:1. It's written on his tombstone. Okay, Psalm 19:1. Look it up in the Bible. He knew that we lived under a dome, an enclosed system. And anyway, the Earth is not an oblate spheroid, okay? It's a flat, motionless plane. It does not move. Use your everyday common sense and perception. If you go outside, you don't feel the Earth moving because it's not moving. You look up, you can see the sun and the moon moving because they are moving. You're not stupid. These scientists are not smarter than you who spent hundreds of thousands of dollars to get letters after their names. And you can read the same books for free. So who are the stupid ones? Come on now. You know, up is up, down is down, the sun, the moon, the stars, they're all close, they're all local. And I did some videos the other day of the sun and the moon, and I posted them. And you can see the complete circle of the sun. You can see the complete circle of the moon. They look to be the same size, okay? And people will say they look to be the same size because the sun is 93 million miles away and the moon is 238,000 miles away. No. They appear to be the same size because they are the same size and they are the same distance away. They are close and they are local. You can go outside, you can look at the sun. It's not going to blind you, I promise. There are sun gazers out there that have been doing it. You know, their culture's been doing it for years. You can look at the sun, you can look at the moon, you can see the circle of both of them. They are close, they are local. I don't know how far away they are. Maybe 3,000 miles, I have no idea. Just throwing it out there. I don't know how big they are. Maybe they're 70 miles across, you know, maybe they're 300 miles across, I don't know. But the point is, they're a lot smaller than what we're told, they're a lot closer than what we're told. And if you look at the stars are supposedly millions of light years away, billions of light years away, light years, okay? A light year is the speed that light travels in 1 year. The speed of light is 66 million miles per hour. Okay. 66 million miles per hour is the speed of light, and these stars are millions and billions of light years away. Right. Does that make any sense to you at all? Go look at the stars through a telescope or through a P900 camera. They're lights. That's all they are. They're lights in the sky. They're luminaries. I don't know what they are, to be honest, but they're not big burning balls of gas and fire and whatever that nonsense is that they teach. It's absurd. It's ridiculous. They're just lights. They're just luminaries in the sky. Just like the sun is its own light, the moon is its own light. The moon doesn't reflect the sun's light at all. You can measure the temperature of the moonlight. It's colder than the temperature in the moonlight is colder than it will be out of the moonlight. Okay. If it's the sun's light, it would be warmer, and lots of these experiments have been done. You can do it yourself with a thermometer. NASA, the word NASA itself, NASA in Hebrew means to deceive. These are the big deceivers, okay? NASA's budget is $50 million a day. A day, okay? $50 million a day. Can you tell me, in all the time that NASA's existed, what have they done for humanity? How have they advanced humanity? Why do we have 10,000 children starving to death every day in Africa? Africa has enough land and resources to feed the world, yet they can't feed themselves because of corporate capitalism and greed. And I'm not going to get into politics because that isn't what this post is about, but what good has NASA done humanity? I mean, people starve to death in our own countries, you know, in Southeast Asia, in Europe, and North America, and Central America, and South America. People are starving, you know, below poverty line. 2/3 of the world is below poverty line. And here's this agency that's getting $50 million a day to show us cartoons. Look at Pluto, okay? Take a look at Pluto. And remember, Walt Disney was involved with NASA. So if you look at Pluto, the images that NASA gives you, you will see the dog Pluto on the planet, so-called. The word planet itself means wanderer, okay? Because the planets are actually wandering stars. They're not planets at all. Not what NASA tells us. But yeah, there's a picture of the dog Pluto on the planet, and that picture is given to you by NASA. I mean, they're mocking you, and yet you call me, you guys, they call me stupid. I mean, come on now. And